Hi, my name is Joe, aka Janice, aka Madam Solar Babe, and this will be part two of my experience slash story time with I Am Winklebottom, aka Jada Epps.
Yeah, this person told me I couldn't read tarot, told me just so much shit. So much shit. Told me that I had a young soul and for that reason I wouldn't be able to be capable of certain things. I wouldn't be able to access certain realms, certain knowledge and wisdom. Found out through tarot that that was bullshit. And see, that's one thing. I never even knew that I could read on certain stuff. When I used to read tarot cards when I was in relationship with them, God stole my gifts. God was like, "You're not having those gifts. I'm not just going to bless you with these gifts if you're not going to nurture them properly, and you can't do that in this type of relationship, in this type of mindset." I didn't know I was able to read certain things through tarot because I would just go based off the imagery and the written meanings. I didn't know how to pick up on energy then. Now I'm in a whole new fucking world. Like, I'm like, damn, I've been purchasing readings from this bitch. I've been giving her all my money with the conjure. I could have been doing this shit myself. I wish I would have done this shit myself. I wish I would have loved myself and knew my worth. But I'm gonna read these text messages that I'm gonna put on the screen. Hold on, let me go to my gallery. Okay, so she said, "You're not supposed to be reading tarot cards. Spirit told me today. I think you're supposed to get into cowrie and things that are short to your bloodline." And one thing I want to say real quick is these people will make you think that you're not supposed to do things, these spiritual advisors. You're not supposed to do conjure. You're not supposed to read tarot, so that you can continue to give them your money and your energy. That's the trick. That's the scheme. That's the scam that they do to you. And a lot of fucking people fall for it because we have God complexes and we idolize people and put them on a pedestal without even fucking knowing them for real, for real. And it's like, oh, I know her. She's told me X, Y, and Z about herself. Knowing someone goes well beyond being knowledgeable on everything that they have told you about themselves. Knowing someone is knowing them intuitively, knowing them psychically. And sometimes what they are telling you, the information that they are trying to feed into your brain is not spiritually, psychically, intuitively correct. And again, she would get mad at me every time my intuition would come through telling me some shit about her. A dream would come through telling me some shit about her. And I'll let her have the power. I doubt myself. But anyway, she said, "You're not supposed to be reading tarot cards. Spirit told me today, I think you're supposed to get into cowrie and things that are short to your bloodline." She said, I said, "Don't think about spirituality, do some other things. I validate if you've been doing better, but you didn't pass that test either." Somebody telling you, just think about somebody, if you are a spiritual being listening to this, think about somebody telling you not to think about spirituality. Just think about that. Think about how demonic that shit sounds. Now, sometimes we do need a break. But to totally spirituality is a lifestyle. You don't have to be doing conjure work all the time. You don't have to be giving readings all the time, doing readings all the time. You don't have to be giving offerings all the time or any of that. But for me, being spiritual is something that I am by default. I wake up and I'm spiritual. I go to sleep and I'm spiritual. I watch a random video, and I'm spiritual because there are certain morals and principles that I have to remember, that I have to carry within my beings and account for at all times. So to tell me to disregard my foundation is to give yourself the platform that you need to fuck shit up within my being and within my life. I'm getting a strong energy confirmation in my body. Thank you. I said, being ignorant, being her ass kisser, being her vessel for her energy bank, basically. I said, oh, wow, that's crazy, because I've always fancied the idea of cowrie shell divination, and I love it, which is true. But I also wanted to read tarot. I came out the gate reading tarot. Like the low vibe gatekeeping. Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that. If you cannot, I'm not saying that certain people are not, divinely permitted to do certain things. But if you're not permitted to do something, figure that out for yourself. Let God tell you that. Because these manipulative ass spiritualists, of course, are going to try to tell you something else. They need your money and they need your fucking energy. Then I said, I also feel like I read better when things are not as fixed, if you feel me. Thank you for that channeled message. And again, I don't want any beef. She said, with your Taurus North Node and your Scorpio South Node, you aren't meant to be in between like others are meant to be. The low vibe exclusion. And I wouldn't be able to say that this is low vibe or gatekeeping or low vibe exclusive behavior if God didn't come to me, my Medalas didn't come to me telling me this shit was incorrect. Okay? I wouldn't be able to say that. Because again, yes, it's true that certain people are, only meant for certain things. But this bitch was lying. Excuse my French. I gave a wow emoji. She said, I cannot force you to do anything with the keys I continue to give you, but I stand on it that this is the last time. She was referring to our connection. She was like, oh, if you fuck up again, this is the last time. The last time she cut me off. No, the first, because this bitch let me back into her life 3 times. And I do take accountability for coming back because I was in a codependent mindset. And she did make me feel as though I was incapable of doing many things on my own. Many things that I proudly embrace and know that I can do now. So she, what was I going to say? So when honestly, my Medalas and God been giving me dreams about her. They gave me dreams about this girl when her and I used to be, when we considered ourselves best friends. I got a past life dream of her being a bully to me on a playground. Like bullying the shit out of me. And she was bigger than me and I was smaller than her. And she was like, taking advantage of that basically. In the past life dream. I told her about the dream. I think she said some shit like, oh, it was just your fear. It's just this. And I'm thinking like, if it's just that, why is it from the past? Why is it a past life dream? But anyway, in that little voice clip, I was basically explaining to her how what I meant by fixed is tarot cards. Charms and tarot cards are 2 different types of divination. Now I don't have the issue that I was describing in this voice clip because, like I said, God amplified and activated my gifts when I decided to cut her off. But I noticed that at that time, I would read a little bit. I'm sorry, the voice clip cut out. I noticed at that time I would read a little bit easier with charms than I would with tarot, because what I meant by fixed is with charms, there aren't any set messages. There are no messages engraved into the charms. There are no, and the type of charms I use is definitely not, they're so abstract, like you cannot make them out to be what you want them to be. With tarot cards, there's a message there. There's an image there. And that can be distracting to me as a then beginner tarot reader. So for that reason, that's what I was referring to. That's why I felt like it was fixed. But I still, even saying that it was fixed wasn't demonizing it. It was simply me saying, this is harder for me personally because of the image and things, the description and things like that. And then, hold on. And then, she said, okay, yeah, I think that was it. Oh yeah, she said, tarot is not fixed, you are. Like, just wanting to be argumentative, basically. And honestly, I think I am going to make a story time about this person, because it has just been like, oh my fucking God, like through the fucking ringer. And I take accountability for my naivety at the time. I take accountability for being gullible, for giving her my energy and my money. But I have so much to disclose about this type of situation and this person, and warning signs and so much. But next, I want to go to the next screenshot that I'm going to post on this video. Hold on, let me find it in my gallery. Okay, so my mom posted the original photo. I whited her name out so that, my followers can't go to her account or anything like that. But these are photos of me. One of them I'm with my uncle, putting my deuces sign up. One of them is of me as a baby. And then there's another one on top that's kind of cropped out. But my mom, as you can see, she had 17 likes on this post. I was born on August 17th. If you subtract, my birth year is 03. If you subtract 3 minus 20, you get 17. And then 7 plus 1 is 8. 7 plus 1 again is 8, because the day is the 17th. And then the month is 8. I was literally born in power. I was born as a star, okay? And upon my guides confirming the greatness within me, not just my birthday, but like how my birthday correlates with my own soul's divinity, it just totally debunked the shit that this person told me. And then she is working with low vibe spirits, and tried to make me think that that's how divine ascended, high vibe, loving, most, with the adjective most in front of all that. She was trying to make me think that that is how those type of beings operate. And they have shown me that that's not how they operate at all. And now I'm in a process of trying to decorrode my mindset when it comes to expectations as far as interactions from ancestors and spirit guides that are mandalas. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot that I could say, a lot more that I could say, and I'm not going to let this person shut me up. I'm not going to expose her identity, but I'm just going to say, be wary when you're working with spiritual advisors. Know yourself for yourself. Know yourself in God's eyes, in your mandala's eyes, before you depend on someone and let them tell you who you are and who you are not. If they're telling you who you are and who you are not, it needs to resonate with what God has told you. It needs to resonate with what your mandalas have told you. People will try to make you feel as though you are incorrect for speaking on things, for saying your truth. People will do that. People will do that to you. But you have to persevere. And it's hard to persevere when you're dealing with someone who's in the public eye to one degree or another, or they are just widely admired or put on a pedestal by other people. And I'm going to insert a video that speaks on that as well. But if God is constantly telling you something about that person and about yourself, trust it. And it may be kind of rocky trusting it at first, because nothing in your reality is confirming it. Only your spiritual higher self and God. But if you hold on for long enough, justice will be served, and you will see why God told you not to fuck with them. Why God told you that you have, greatness in his eyes, and that you need to utilize that greatness so much so that you're not dependent on somebody to tell you who you are. Not dependent on anyone for any reason. For love, for money, for nothing. So I'm definitely going to put this video in parts. This is probably going to be part 2, to be honest, because yeah, I'm definitely probably going to make a part 3. And in that part 3, I'm going to talk about some of the, you know what? I forgot to add the dream. So you know what? I will add, well, yeah, never mind. I'm thinking that I have to talk about it. It's going to be in a screen recording. So yeah, that's all I have to say, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. And if you did, be sure to share, comment, and like if you like. Peace.
Please remember that most serial abusers are well-liked. They're likable, kind, talented, and even good-looking people who volunteer and use their voices to stand up for the marginalized, and all of that is a jig to avoid any accountability for the abuses that they commit personally. It's overcompensation. And the function of it lets them think that they're untouchable because they're an exception to the rule, being that they stand up for all these other groups. They could never commit harm. And those who've experienced narcissistic abuse know this better than anybody else because others will make excuses for them. I don't know, they just seem like a bleeding heart and stand up for these causes, and they're so different. There are a lot of people focusing on structural change, systems, and the political to avoid any examination or accountability for how they perpetuate violence in their personal lives.